Okay, magandang araw sa inyong mga mag-aaral. Again, this is our lesson for the General Mathematics and we are now down to week 2. So narito ang mga learning competencies na kung saan ay pinresent ko rin sa inyo before. However, at this time, ang ating pag-aaralan is about evaluating a function. And it is expected to you students that at the end of this lesson ay matututunan ninyo kung paano nga ba mag-evaluate ng isang function. So these are the topics involving functions. And again, we are now on the week 2 of our lesson in general mathematics, that is the evaluating function. Okay. Now let us recall yung paano nga ba tayo nag-evaluate ng common equation nung kayo ay nasa junior high school, 'di ba? Noon din kayo naman ay grade 7 or grade 8 sa inyong algebra, meron tayong tinatawag na magsiset tayo ng value ni x or given yung value ni x and then isa-substitute natin sa kung ano yung equation para makuha. For example, we have this number 1. Ang ating given na equation is x minus 2. At ang given natin na value ni x is 3. Now, isa-substitute, meaning to say, papalitan natin yung value ni x. Gagawin nating 3. Kasi yun yung given natin. So, 3, si x, kung mapapansin nyo, naging 3 na, and then minus 2. Therefore, we have 1. Another example. From the equation x plus 5, if we will substitute x equals 3, meaning to say, papalitan natin yung value ni x ng 3, magkakaroon tayo ngayon ng from x naging 3. Kung makikita nyo dyan sa screen. Kaya naging 3 plus 5, therefore we have 8. And then last example, for evaluating this equation, we have this one. 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. Now, ang gagawin natin, just like before, if given yung value ni x ay 3, i-substitute lamang natin sa lahat ng x na nakalagay dyan. Kaya naman, lahat ng x, like for example, yung x cubed naging 3 cubed, yung x squared naging 3 squared, and yung plus x naging plus 3. So, ganun lang ang ginagawa natin. Next, i-simplify natin, 'di ba? Yung 3 cube, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng 3 cube? Hindi yan 3 times 3 ha. Ang ibig sabihin ng 3 cube ay 3 beses na i-multiply si 3 sa kanyang sarili. That is 3 times 3 times 3. Kaya naman nakuha si 27 kasi 3 times 3 is 9 and then another 9 times 3 we have 27. Next, si 3 squared. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng 3 squared? Hindi yan 3 times 2, okay? Ang ibig sabihin yan ay 3 times 3. Kaya siya naging 9. And then further evaluate this one, that is 3 times 27, we have 81. Negative 2 times 9. Unlike terms, yung ating pinagmumultiply or unlike sign rather, ang ating pinagmumultiply. So, kaya siya naging negative. We have negative 18 and then the last one is plus 3. So, pag samasamahin natin yung common term, i-plus natin, i-minus, kaya makukuha natin ang 66 na value. 81 minus 18 and then you will get the answer plus 3, you will get 66. Ayan, okay. Ngayon naman, let us discuss papaano naman kapag yung mismong function ang i-evaluate natin. Kasi yung kanina, di ba, wala naman tayong nakitang function like y equals something. Pero ang mga nakita lang natin is mga value lang ni x, ang present na variable. So what if, okay, we have now function equation. Now, there are steps in evaluating the expression, especially here sa topic natin na function. That is, the first one, replace each letter in the expression with the assigned value. Katulad nung sinabi ko kanina, for example, meron tayong given na value ni x, yun yung ating ipapalit sa variable x. Like yung example kanina, di ba? 3. And then, pinalitan natin lahat ng x sa ating given. So, yun yung first step. And then, the next one is to perform the operation in the expression. So, syempre, after nating palitan yung mga value ni x, nagkakaroon ka na ngayon ng puro numbers na lang yon na present. Kaya naman, madali na lang yon na i-compute natin. Normal na pagko-compute, normal na operation like multiply, divide, subtract, and add. Now, we have these different types of function. The first one is constant function. Pag sinabi natin constant, from its word na constant, meaning hindi nababago. Kaya meron tayong example dito na y equals 7. Kahit nasabihin natin na what if x equals 3? Based on the example na nakikita nyo sa inyong screen, walang x na involved. Kundi, yung number 7 lang, na yun yung tinatawag natin na constant number. Hindi siya nagbabago kahit na ano pa ang value ni x. Kasi in the first place, in the example that we have, wala naman tayong letter x or variable x. Ayan, we have the definition f of x equals b, wherein yung b is any number. Okay, any real number. Ayan, halimbawa, we have f of x equals 4. And now, sabi dyan sa given, what if the value of x is 1? So, try natin ngayon i-substitute si x na variable na gawin nating 1. Kaya naman sa ibaba, kung makikita nyo dyan sa inyong screen, nagkaroon tayo ng f of 1 equals 4. So, hindi na bago si 4. Kasi nga, siya yung constant natin, constant value. Kasi, di ba, kahit pagbalik-baliktarin mo, maging ang mundo, 4 pa rin yan. At saka wala kasi siyang katabi na variable x. Okay? Another example, we have f of x equals 109. So, kahit sabihin pa natin that if x is 52, ano ngayon yung magiging value ni f of 52 or your y? Ganun pa rin. 109 pa rin kasi nga constant siya. Okay? Next one is we have the identity function wherein ang description niyan is f of x equals x. Kung ano mismo, nag-iisa lang na variable yung meron tayo and isang term lang yung nasa right side ng ating function. That is x lang din mismo. Kaya nga we have the example as you can see in your screen, f of 2 equals 2 as well. Which is, ang given dyan, what if x is equal to 2? So, kung isa-substitute natin yung value ni x na 2, we have that result. The f of 2 equals 2. O, magbigay pa tayo ng other example, What if x is equal to 3? So, from the definition of identity function, that f of x is just equal to x. Kaya nga sinabing identity mirror lang. Kung ano mismo yung value ni x, yun at yun din mismo ang nagiging value ni y. Kaya siya naging identity function. If you will remember, sa ating first lesson, we said na ang f of x is just equal to your y value. So, dito sa identity function, x and y ay may magkaparehas lamang na value. Kasi nga, mirror lang. F of x equals x, identity. So, if x equals 3, we substitute the x, yung x equals 3 from the original function equation. That's why we get f of 3 equals 3. O, another example. What if x is equal to 26? So, ganun lang din, Papalitan natin lahat ng value ni x ng 26 kasi yun naman na yung given at this time. So, f of 26 is equal to 26 or f or your y is just also equal to 26. So x and y have the same value. Okay, next one we have the polynomial function. So, kailan ba na masasabi na ang isang function ay polynomial? Masasabi natin na polynomial ang isang function if we have f of x, tapos ang variable ni x sa right side ay 0, or meaning to say, constant. Constant lang yung meron tayo. Kaya kanina yung nabanggit natin na constant function, yung isa din yun na uri or type ng polynomial function. Also, polynomial function din, yung degree exponent ng x ay 1. Meaning to say, yung mga linear, kung natatandaan sa inyong algebra grade 7. Pag sinabi natin na linear, yung mga exponent ng variable mo is just 1. So, ulitin natin masasabi natin na polynomial function if yung degree of exponent natin ay starting 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Basta ang mga degree of exponent ay whole number. Yun yung 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth. Basta whole number ang degree of exponent ni variable, polynomial function. Now, let us have this example. F of x is equal to 3x raised to 4 plus 21x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus 15. So, this one, masasabi natin na polynomial. It is because your variable x has a degree of exponent 4. Meaning to say, yung pinakamataas na exponent ng x mo ay 4. 'Di ba? Kung makikita nyo dyan sa inyong screen. And then, what if right now, the given is x is equal to 1. So, ano kaya ang magiging value? So, same sa ginagawa natin kanina, lahat lang ng x, papalitan nyo ng 1. Kaya naman, we have this one. So, f of 1 equals 3 times 1 raised to 4 plus 21 times 1 cube and so on. Lahat ng x, pinalitan natin ng 1 because our given is x equals 1. And then, sabi kanina, di ba, yung sa steps natin in evaluating function, after we substitute yung given value, what we do next is we simplify. And then, we have now, i-multiply lang natin. Unahin natin yung exponent. If you will remember, yung ating PEMDAS. Okay? Yung rule natin on how we evaluate. Yun yung pagkakasunod-sunod. And at this equation, ang unahin natin is this one. Meron tayong exponent. So, evaluate lahat ng exponent. Meron kang ganyan. Kasi 1 raised to 4 is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 1 pa rin. And so on. And then we have, meron na tayong present operation na addition and subtraction. So we can solve this from left to right. So after we solve this, we can get the f of 1, which is 6. Okay, another example. We have f of x is equal to 4x raised to 5 plus 2x. Again, this example is a polynomial function because the degree of exponent is whole number. Yung degree of exponent ng variable x natin. At ano yung whole number na yun? As you can see, meron tayong 5 and then 1 kasi alam natin si 2x, 'di ba? Pagka hindi visible, yung exponent automatic, that is 1. Kaya si 2x, yung x diyan, ang exponent niya ay 1. But for this one, ang highest degree of exponent natin is 5. So since whole number naman ang ating mga exponent, therefore polynomial function ito. And then we know that pagka napapansin nyo na for example yan 4x raised to 5 tapos biglang nasaan yung variable na may exponent na 4. Nasaan yung variable na may exponent na 3, na 2? Kasi biglang kung mapapansin nyo, from 5 na highest degree of exponent, naging 1 ang ating exponent. Ang ibig lang sabihin nun is 0 yung numerical coefficient or 0 yung katabi na number ng ating variable or ng ating letter. Just like what you can, yung sa nakikita nyo sa inyong screen. That is 0x4, 0x cubed, 0x squared. Yun lang ibig sabihin nun, ano? Pag hindi present yung other exponent, degree of exponent ng variable nyo. 0 lang yon. And now, what if x is equal to 2? Substitute lang natin. Ayan, pinakita ko lang kung paanong nangyayari, kung bakit nasaan si degree of exponent 4, 3, 2. Pero you can direct this one na pwede ng from the original function na 4x raised to the 5th power plus 2x, direct substitute nyo na si x equals 2. Pinakita ko lang kasi para mas maunawaan ninyo. Then, for this, evaluating this one, you will get 132. Ganun lang ulit, exponent, inuunahin, and then may mga present pa rin na multiplication, like 4 times 32. So, unahin muna yon bago kayo mag-add, and then after that, meron ng present na addition, 128 plus 4, so pag-addin lang. Kaya makukuha natin is f of 2 equals 132. Okay, next one we have the linear function. This as well is a polynomial function, Polynomial function with degree 1. Katulad ng sabi ko, yung mga polynomial function with degree 1 is what we call the linear function. So, paano naging degree 1? Saan ba nagiging basihan? Tinitignan yan sa exponent ni variable. Ano ba yung highest exponent na meron kayo dyan sa right side na nakikita nyo sa inyong screen? Di ba, ang meron ka lang naman na variable on the right side is just 2x. Yun lang yung may variable ka, si 5, constant yan. And ano ang sabi ko kanina kapag hindi visible yung exponent na meron tayo sa variable? Di ba, sabi ko, automatic ang exponent niyan ay 1. Therefore, the equation that you can see on your screen, that is y equals 2x plus 5 has a degree of 1. So, let us have an example, We have f of x equals 2x plus 1. Yan ay isang uri ng linear function because your variable x has a degree of 1 or your function as a whole, yung equation mo as a whole, ang highest degree na maoobserbahan mo ay 1 kasi ang meron ka ng variable na part is the 2x. Okay, and then, what if x is equal to 3? Substitute lang si 3 from the original equation. You have f of 3 equals 4 times 3 plus 1. Unahin si multiplication. Rule again, PEMDAS. We have 12 plus 1. Therefore, we got 13. Ang y value natin at x equals 3 ay 13. Next one is the quadratic function. Ito naman, kung si linear function is a polynomial with degree 1, si quadratic function is a polynomial with degree 2. Paano ulit malalaman yon? Yung degree, tignan nyo lamang sa inyong function or sa equation, ano ba yung highest degree of exponent na makikita. Kung mapapansin nyo, dyan sa example, we have y equals 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Yes, meron tayong 2x, merong 1 ang exponent, si x na nakikita nyo nga dyan sa screen. Pero, ang sinasabi kasi natin is yung highest degree, yung pinakamataas na exponent. Doon mababase kung linear ba siya, kung quadratic ba siya. Ano ba yung pinakamataas na exponent na variable ang makikita nyo dyan sa screen? Diba that is 2, yung nasa 3x squared. Therefore, this one is quadratic function. Let us have an example. We have f of x equals 5x squared plus 2x minus 15. This one is quadratic function because, ayan, i-type nyo sa comment box kung bakit naging quadratic function. So, now, if x equals 4, we just substitute, again, yung number na 4, palitan lamang natin sa mga value ni x dyan. So, mula x, gawin natin 4. We have this one. So, ang next muna nating i-evaluate, kasi meron dyan, 5 times 4 squared. Exponent muna. Okay? That is, i-simplify nyo muna si 4 squared, magiging 4 times 4. Ulitin ko, ang 4 squared, hindi ibig sabihin yan 4 times 2. Ang ibig sabihin yan is, si 4, dalawang beses imumultiply sa sarili. Kaya naman, we have this one. 5 times 16 plus, pwede na nating evaluate, si 2 times 4, since wala namang exponent yung ating 4 na halimbawa, exponent niya ay 2 o exponent niya ay 3 na kailangan pa ng further evaluation. But then, kasi the reason as well, kung bakit in-evaluate na natin siya, kasi hindi naman maaapektuhan yung the rest ng equation kung isi-simplify na din natin agad si 2 times 4. The next is further simplify. Unahin natin si multiplication, the 5 times 16, kaya meron tayong 80 plus 8 minus 15. So, ang present na operation natin is add and subtract or addition and subtraction. You can solve this one from left to right. So, you will get f of 4 or your value of y. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng f of x, sabi ko kanina, ay y. Or your value of y is just 73. Okay, next. Cubic function. Masasabi natin na cubic function kung ang highest degree of exponent naman ay 3. Okay, polynomial function din siya, but the highest degree is 3. So, kung yung kanina, linear 1, quadratic 2, cubic naman ay 3. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo dyan, yung highest exponent ni variable x mo ay 3. So, papaano kapag halimbawa, ang meron lang tayong given ay 5x cubed plus 5. Is it still a cubic function? The answer is yes. As long as yung ating exponent na present, yung highest exponent na present sa iyong equation ay 3, cubic function siya. Regardless kung kompleto na mayroong nakikita ka na x cubed, x squared, and x. Again, as long as the present highest, pinakamataas na exponent ay 3, that is cubic function. Now, for power function, yan ay we have the numerical coefficient which represents a, and then we have, of course, the variable x, and yung exponent niya ng ating variable is just any number. Kaya nga b dyan eh. Ayan kaya nakalagay, where b is any real constant number. Okay? And then next one is the rational function. Ito namang rational function, masasabi natin na rational function ang isang equation if the numerator is polynomial and the denominator is polynomial. But may addition, wherein the denominator must not be equal to 0. Bakit? Kasi once na nag-equal to 0 ang iyong denominator, magiging undefined yan. Recall, yung inyong lesson sa grade 8, if I'm not mistaken, o grade 10. Recall that, na kapag ang denominator ng isang fraction ay nag-0, that will be undefined. Meaning to say, walang real value. As in, wala ay unidentified yan, di ba? Or undefined rather. So, kung undefined, hindi alam. As in, walang magiging solution pag ang fraction ay 0. Kaya naman, again, dapat things to consider to know if it is a rational function. If polynomial si numerator and polynomial si denominator. Balikan nyo yung sinabi ko kanina, paano nga ba nako-consider that a expression is polynomial. So we have this example. We have 2x cubed minus x squared plus 3. Yung numerator natin, cubic function kasi the highest exponent is 3. While our denominator, we have x cubed plus 1. It is also a cubic function. Why? Because the highest degree of exponent is 3. So now, what if, ang sabi dyan, what if x is 2? So we just substitute, papalitan lamang natin lahat ng value ni x ng 2. We have this one. And then, evaluate yung mga may exponent. Simplify natin. Si 2 cube, magiging 8 yan. Kasi 2 times 2 times 2. Si 2 squared, magiging 4 yan. Kasi 2 times 2. Dinirect ko na, yung 16. Kaya siya naging 16. Kasi, di ba, si 2 cube, 2 times 2 times 2, that is 8. Times 2, kaya naging 16. Next one, pag-aden and pag-subtractin yung mga nasa numerator. Pag-aden yung nasa denominator, we have 15 over 9. And then, simplify. That is, di ba, kasi meron pa yung, may common factor si 15 and 9. That is, alam natin na ang factor ni 15 ay 5 times 3 and ang factor ni 9 ay 3 times 3. Kaya natin kinuha yung factor nila is to cancel out para ma-simplify natin siya. Diba ito yung ginagawa natin sa fraction, yung tinatawag natin na tawag doon. Yung pinapaliit pa natin. Like for example, yung 4 over 8, it is just equal to 1/2. So, ganito lang din yun. Si 15 over 9 is just equal to 5 over 3. Balikan yung factoring sa grade 10 or grade 8 if I'm not mistaken. Pinag-aralan din yan. So, again, kaya natin finactor si 15 at 9 para makancel natin si 3. Take note, hindi tayo basta-basta nagka-cancel. Nagka-cancel lang tayo if same yung value ni numerator and denominator and the operation is multiplication. Like for example, ano ba ang operation sa numerator? 'Di ba? Multiplication. Ano ba ang operation sa denominator? Multiplication. Kaya pwede tayong mag-cancel ng similar value ni numerator and denominator. Okay, next one, we have the exponential function. When we say exponential function, kaiba ito sa mga nauna natin na in-example kanina, Okay, sa exponential function, yung mismong exponent natin ay variable. Pero kanina, di ba, yung mga in-example natin ay ang mga exponent niya is specific na mga whole number. But this one, we have the exponent variable or unknown pa. Yun ang kaibahan ng exponential function. Now, the logarithmic function is, matatapik natin yan, actually, it is the inverse of the exponential function, the logarithmic function. Wherein, sinusulat yan as y equals log to the base b, wherein b is any, any constant number of x. Of course, yung x din, same din yon na any number din yan na magsasatisfy ng mismong equation. So, we have this definition of logarithmic function. Now, what if, we let y is equal to 2? Let us have this example. It is not y, b talaga yan. Namali lang ako nang lagay dito sa aking PowerPoint. It should be b, letter b. Now, we have log base 2 of 32 equals 5. Pag yan ay isinulat natin in exponential form, we have this one. 2 raised to 5 equals 32. So, yung base natin is si 2 kasi nga, yung base ng exponent dyan ay 2. So, yung nagiging equal or y value natin sa logarithmic function is the exponent. Kaya yung equals dyan, 5. Ano ba exponent natin? That is 5. And then yung x dyan, yan yung magiging sagot kapag ka i-multiply mo or in-evaluate mo na si base at saka si exponent. That is for specifically sa example natin, that is 32. Next one is the absolute value. Ayan. Sa absolute value naman, kapag ang isang number, any number na under the absolute value, ang laging nagiging sagot dyan is positive. Or if it is 0, syempre 0 ang nagiging sagot. Magbigay tayo ng example. Ayan, halimbawa, we have the f of x is equal to the absolute value. Yan yung symbol natin, for absolute value. Dalawang nakaharang. That is absolute value of negative 5x squared. So, nakapaloob sa ating absolute value ay negative. And then, let us evaluate, what if x is equal to 3? So, same lang to sa pag-evaluate natin sa mga kanina na pinapalitan lang natin or sinasubstitute natin yung value yung given value ni x sa ating original equation. So, we have now f of 3 equals the absolute value of negative 5 multiplied by 3 squared. Evaluate muna natin yung exponent. Yung may exponent, that is 3 squared or the 3 times 3, which is 9. We will get, negative 5 times 9 is negative 45. Ito na yung sinasabi natin na kapag ang any number ay nasa loob ng absolute value, kung negative yan, pagka kinuha natin absolute value, nagiging positive yan. Okay? Whether negative or positive, pagka kinuha natin yung absolute value ng isang number, nagiging positive ang kalalabasan. Okay, the next one is we have the greatest integer function. Let me clarify lang, yung kanina sa absolute value. Tatandaan nyo, kapag nasa loob lamang ng absolute value o yung dalawang straight line, kapag nasa loob lang ng absolute value, yung number, kapag negative siya, ay magiging positive. Pero, kapag nasa labas nung dalawang straight line or ng absolute value natin yung negative, hindi yung nagiging positive. So, we have now, balik tayo dito sa greatest integer function. So, sa greatest integer function, ang nangyayari is, meron kang value sa loob ng greatest integer function, and then, ang kinukuha natin, for example, yun ay decimal, ang kinukuha natin is yung mas mababa na value. Okay, let us have an example. So, suppose we have this one. Mayroon tayong value na f of x equals the greatest integer function of negative 5.2x minus 2. And what if the value of x is 3? So, substitute lang natin, from the original equation, we get this one. F of 3 equals the greatest integer function of negative 5.2 times 3 minus 2. Evaluate muna natin yung nasa loob. Pag minultiply mo yan, you will get negative 15.6. Ito na yung sinasabi natin. Pagkasabi, di ba, ang definition ng greatest integer function is kung nasa loob siya ng interval, kasi ang pagitan ng interval na yan, si negative 15.6, nasa interval yan between negative 15 and negative 16 and negative 15. Ngayon, ang sabi sa definition, ang kukunin daw natin is yung mababa na value. Yung mas mababa. Therefore, nasa dalawa lang yon, either negative 16 or negative 15 ang choice natin. Pero sino nga ba ang mas mababa? Is it the negative 16 or negative 15? Well, that is negative 16. Why? Kung babalikan natin yung ating number line, 'di ba? Yung 0 natin, habang tayo ay lumalayo sa 0 sa number line, habang tayo ay papunta sa kaliwa, pababa ng pababa ang ating value. Kaya naman, kung sino yung mas malapit sa 0, siya yung mas malaki. Di ba sa greatest integer function, ang kinukuha nga natin is yung mas maliit na value. Pag ito ay pag yung nakapaloob sa ating greatest integer function ay decimal. Decimal si negative 15.6. So, we know that it lies between negative 16 and negative 15. The next step that we have to do is to identify sino ang mas mababa. And again, if you will see and analyze the number line, if you will go back sa number line natin, makikita natin na si negative 15 ay mas malapit sa 0. Therefore, negative 15 is higher than negative 16. So, dahil mas mababa pala si negative 16, kaya siya yung kinuha natin. And then, therefore, we have now negative 16 minus 2, we get f of 3, or the value of our y is negative 18. Okay, ngayon naman, pumunta naman tayo, what if yung value na ng x natin is not just a number? Kasi kanina madali lang eh. Kung ang value natin ng x ay 3, madali na lang na i-substitute siya sa ating original equation. So, paano naman kapag may kasama na rin na variable yung ating x? Just like the example that we have na makikita nyo sa inyong screen. That is f of x equals 2x plus 8. Find f of 3h minus 1. Yung x natin dyan, is instead of number alone, 3h minus 1 na ang value ng ating x na isa-substitute natin sa original function equation. Ayan, kung mapapansin nyo, sinubstitute na natin, di ba? From the original equation na f of x equals 2x plus 8, yung x value mo, napalitan na ng 3h minus 1. Kasi yun na yung hinahanap, yung f of 3h minus 1. Kaya napalitan yung x sa left side, napalitan din yung x sa right side. Kaya si 2x naging 2 times 3h minus 1. Next step is to distribute. I-multiply si 2 sa naka-parenthesis. Diba sabi natin, PEMDAS. Ulit, mauna parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So, we have this one. 2 times 3h, we have positive 6h. 2 times negative 1, we have negative 2 plus 8. And then, combine like terms. Ano lang ba yung mga mapagko-combine natin? Ito yung may same variable. Si h wala naman na, si 6h wala naman kaparehas ng variable. Nag-iisa lang siya na may variable, which is 6h. Ang common term natin is negative 2 plus 8 kasi parehas silang constant number. Pag addin sila or pag minusan, dahil magkaiba ng sign, we have 6h plus 6. Okay? So, we have this one. The f of 3h minus 1 is 6h plus 6. Or, kapag yan naman ay, kumbaga, tawag dito, finactor out mo lang yung 6, equal lang din yan sa 6 multiplied by h plus 1. But 6h plus 6 is enough, kasi yun din lang naman yung sagot. Next, example number 2, we have, ayan, ang given natin, we have h of x equals to x squared minus x. Ang hahanapin naman natin is, what if ang value ni x natin ay 2k plus 1? Ayan, so substitute lang natin or palitan natin lahat ng value ni x ng 2k plus 1. So, pinalitan si left side, pinalitan si right side. Ngayon, meron na tayong 2k plus 1 quantity squared. Ngayon, eto na ha. Ang uunahin natin at this time is etong exponent, naka-exponent na parenthesis. Akala ko po ba, PEMDAS po tayo? Or, na yun ang susundin natin. Pero kung papansinin nyo kasi, we cannot evaluate itong parenthesis na i-distribute natin siya agad kay 2, 2 times 2k, 2 times 1 without even evaluating yung ating exponent na 2k plus 1 quantity squared. Dito papasok naman si germ dust na tinatawag natin. So, ano naman si germ dust? That is groupings, exponent, etc. So, groupings, ang mauna, we have this 2k plus 1. Kasi ibig sabihin ng 2k plus 1 quantity squared is just 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 1. Or, pwede rin pala siya eventually mag-fall sa exponent na part. Okay, so ayan, pagka in-evaluate natin si 2k plus 1 quantity squared, that is 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 1. Pag minultiply nyo yun, we will get 4k squared plus 4k plus 1. Or as a shortcut, pag nagmumultiply kayo ng ganyan, ng perfect binomial, perfect square binomial, square the first term, that is 2k quantity squared, kaya magkakaroon ka ng 4k squared. And then multiply yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, that is 2k times 1 times 2 yung exponent, kaya nagkaroon ka ng positive 4k, and then square the last term, that is 1 times 1, you get 1. Yun yung shortcut. Pero kung nahihirapan kayo sa shortcut, try to use or apply the 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 1 na way ng pagmumultiply. Okay, so next is minus 2k plus 1. And then, distribute pa rin natin kasi nakamultiply pa rin si 2 sa 4k squared plus 4k plus 1. Pag minultiply pa rin natin yan, we have this one. And the next step is to distribute the negative sign. Bakit? Kasi naka-parenthesis Di ba naka-parenthesis si 2k plus 1 natin. So, hindi natin yan po pwede idire-diretso na negative 2k plus 1. Huwag niyong tatanggalin yung parenthesis kasi yung buong x ang negative. Ano ba yung x natin ngayon? That is 2k plus 1. So, dapat nakalagay pa rin yung parenthesis kasi again, ang buong negative ay buong value ni x and the whole value of x is 2k plus 1. The next step is to distribute that negative sign sa loob ng parenthesis. So, negative times positive ni 2k, negative. Negative times positive 1, you get negative. Combine like terms or similar term. We have 8k squared plus 6k. So, bakit naging 6k na lang? Kasi we have 8k minus 2k pinag-minus, kaya naging 6k. We have the constant 2 minus 1, kaya meron tayong plus 1. So, you have now the h of 2k plus 1 equals 8k squared plus 6k plus 1. Okay, last example. Gamitin naman natin si evaluating function in a given situation. Sabi dyan, Cheryl has 10,000 pesos savings. Every day, she earns a constant 450 pesos in her sari-sari store. Since the day she started her sari-sari store, her constant expense is 100 pesos. The first we need to do is to find the function that will represent Cheryl's total money where D represent the number of days. So, katulad lang ito nung una nating ginawa nung week 1, yung nagpo-formulate tayo ng function. Sabi dyan, si Cheryl ay may 10,000 savings, initial. Ngayon, fix ang kanyang nagiging tawag dito, kita sa sari-sari store o tindahan, that is 450. Ngayon, dahil fix naman na 450 yung kanyang kita, ang fix naman niya na gastos ay 100 pesos. So, let us create an function, equation that will represent kung magkano yung pera ni Cheryl. Kung may 10,000 siya na pera, tapos 450 ang kita niya everyday, nababawasan din ang kanyang pera everyday, that is 100 pesos din. So, we have this solution. We have this one. Diba? Ang initial natin is 10,000. So, ano yun? Constant, fix yon. 10,000 ang savings niya Original na pera niya yon. Hindi na dadagdag, nababawasan, nandun lang sa kanya. Nakatago sa kanyang baul. Pero, ang nababago kasi, per day na kanyang kita, o na kanyang money is itong 450 minus 100. Di, bakit may nakamultiply na di? Kasi, di ba, every day, sumusweldo siya ng 450. Or, what I mean is, kumikita siya ng 450. Kaya nakamultiply sa days. Kasi, what if 2 days na pala siyang nagtitindahan? Kung 450 per day pala, edi we have 450 times 2. Kaya, dapat lang na nakamultiply siya sa days. Minus, 100D. Bakit si 100 din? May letter D. Kasi, araw-araw din siyang gumagastos ng fixed value na 100. Kaya we have that function. And then, combine natin, si similar term, which is 450D minus 100D. Dahil unlike term, we subtract. That's why we get 350D plus 10,000. So, this is now the function that represent the total money of Cheryl in D days. In number of days. Yung letter D na yon. Let us answer the question in letter B. Kung magkano daw ang kanyang tawag dito, kita or pera na after isang buwan kung nagsimula siya ng December 1. We have P of 31. Bakit naging 31? Sasabi natin kasi, makalipas ang isang buwan na halimbawa nag-open siya ng sari-sari store, kunyari nag-start siya ng December 1 based on the given, kung isang buwan na ang nakalipas, ilang araw ba ang meron tayo sa December? Diba meron tayong 31 days sa loob ng isang buwan sa December, sa month ng December. Kaya we have P of 31 kasi yung days natin sa December ay 31 days. So substitute lang natin yan from the function that we formulated and then simplify. We have 20,850 pesos. So yan ang kita or pera ni Cheryl, total money niya kung nagbukas siya ng tindahan ng December 1 at nakalipas na ang isang buwan. Okay, so that's all for our lesson regarding evaluating function. If you have any question regarding the lesson 2, please don't hesitate to comment down below or ask in the group chat sa oras ng ating klase. It is better to ask para mas nauunawaan ninyo talaga yung lesson natin. Because our goal is to learn, not just to pass this school year. Thank you very much once again.